Yeah, it's a happy album, and it was recorded in the so sunny town of LA. We don't picture really Radiohead going to LA to record an album.
No, but we needed some sunshine, and we played the songs in Spain and Portugal in beautiful weather, and it made sense to carry on like being in sunshine whilst we were doing it.
Weren't you forced to go to LA?
Well, yeah, our producer Nigel Godrich, he really wanted us to go there because he did 2 Beck albums and a Travis record in the studio, and he loved it. So.
But then I remember we started Kid A in Copenhagen in the middle of December because we had this slightly inflated idea of ourselves that we're a kind of cold northern European band, that we need darkness and snow and you know, which was nonsense really. So I think we made, you know, a good record in the sunshine this time.
So it was fun. Apparently Ed said it was your best studio experience.
Yeah, it was great, and we hired these like minis as well, like brightly coloured ones, and drove them in formation down Sunset Boulevard, like the Italian Job, you know, looking for the bank to rob and stuff. It was great.
Except someone on the side of the road shouted at me, "Oh look, there's Austin motherfucking Powers."
Okay.
I think it's my teeth or something. I don't know why.
How does Radiohead work in a studio, or how you write? Was there a difference with this album?
Well, this record was all about preparation. We spent 2 or 3 months rehearsing and writing songs and listening to the recordings of our rehearsals quite obsessively, and the recording was just done in 2 weeks. So a lot of our favourite records have been done like that. There's the Captain Beefheart record, Trout Mask Replica, which they rehearsed for 6 months apparently, living alone together in some shack, and then recorded it very quickly. So kind of admired that.
That's very important for Nigel Godrich, the whole gang
2
thing.
weeks, huh?
Yeah, but the whole going away, like away from distractions and stuff, like we did on OK Computer as well. So yeah.
And as brothers, do you have a different approach? I don't know. Do you share things that you don't share with other band members?
Like secrets?
Yeah. You have secrets?
No.
Just tiresome jokes, really.
No, yeah, very sad wittering on, yeah.
No, Colin got me in the band, so I'm always grateful to him.
I'm grateful.
How's parenthood, Thom? You have a
what?
Parenthood? You have a son?
I do, thank you.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's 2 years, 4 months.
And how did that change your life?
For the better.
For the better?
I don't worry as well. That's not true. I do worry, but I worry about different stuff. It's the. I mean, I don't know about how many of you lot have got kids. You see,
a few.
Because you don't have the time to come things like this when you have kids. Anyway, what you as a guy, you become less self-involved, which is for me very good.
The liner notes to the album say, to a future worth having. Now, you've just talked about your son. His name's Noah. I think that's quite revealing. Do you think that Noah or his generation is the one who'll, you know, is the dreamer who'll put the world to rights? Is the one?
No, because it'll be too late.
It'll be too late.
I mean, environmentally speaking, it will be too late.
So he's the one then who'll
we have about 20 years left, and if we don't, yeah. We have about 20 years left. Not only that, but you have all the millions who are going to die of lack of debt cancellation, the way the World Trade Organization runs itself, the IMF, the World Bank. Anyway, I'm not going to, you know, it's too technical. but yeah, it'll be too late.
It'll be too late.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for them to sort it out, unfortunately.
But you were talking earlier about taking part in Jubilee 2000 with people like Bono, which means that as a musician, you do have a certain power. And obviously you don't like corruption of power when we talk about, you know, politicians, things like that. But how do you deal with your own, I guess, brand of power?
I don't think about it.
You don't?
That is, you know, it's the same. It's sort of, I don't think about it, and I don't. If someone asks me a question about something, I'll answer it, and if I'm able to steer cameras in a certain direction, then I'll do it when I get the chance, aware of the fact that tomorrow I might not get the chance, you know.
Okay. So you don't think that taking action can actually make a difference?
Yeah, I do.
You do, okay. But it is still too late?
No, no, I don't think it's too late. No,
okay.
I think I think it will be too late if we wait for our children to sort it out.
to sort it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like you say, in A Wolf at the Door, you don't want them to clean up the mess,
No,
I guess.
but I think it's very interesting that generally speaking, I don't know what it's like here, but in Britain and America, there is a consensus growing that you know people of our age are totally disenfranchised with politics. Now that's important. That's not like, oh well, yeah, we're bored and we wouldn't want to watch music television instead. It's actually down to the fact that we don't feel any connection with it. That's actually a very powerful weapon and a very powerful statement. Okay. Because if we choose to do something instead, in a coherent manner, then they will have no choice but to listen.
Right. Now, I don't think you think of your band as a political band, nor
Not
do you
at
think
all.
of of
because
this
to me
album
this is just common sense. Politics to me is left and right, and it's not relevant anymore. This is humanitarian issues. I think.
But do you want Radiohead to increasingly become sort of a mouthpiece for all of these opinions you want to voice very loudly?
No, not at all. But you know, as I say, if you ask me a question,
you'll answer it.
I mean, I should avoid it maybe because you'll probably all cut this out anyway. So.
No.
Actually, I read somewhere that you once used to work as an orderly in a mental hospital.
Yes. Well, not really an orderly, but yes, I did. Yeah, I was a care worker, as they call them.
A worker, okay. And I also read that you donated the song "Meeting in the Aisles" to a mental health awareness project at MTV UK.
For something like that. Yeah, for a while. I'm not quite sure how that works.
How does mental health impact your music?
Well, it's interesting because one of the things that for me, one of the things I find most offensive about what people say about our music is when they say it's depressing. The reason I find it offensive is that to me implies that to suffer from depression is like being subnormal or you know, it's a stigma, which it shouldn't be, because there's an awful lot of people that suffer from depression, and it shouldn't be something that is like an ultimate swear word, because I suffer from it, and a lot of people suffer from it, and it should be something that's openly discussed and be accepted, rather than like, you know, I happen to make music sometimes when I'm in that frame of mind because I suffer from it. But actually, sometimes it's not suffering. Sometimes it's a bonus. But it is sometimes it is a mental illness, and it means that I have empathy with other mental illnesses, because sometimes I feel that I'm close to certain things that could end up, you know, trapdoors, as I once called them, that I could fall through, and I really have a problem with people who dismiss art or music on the grounds that it's depressing, because a lot of creative power is from that feeling. So
Thom, in the thank you notes, there's Michael Stipe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're a fan of Michael Stipe?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm seeing him tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Say hi.
I will, yeah. He was just here. Well, no, they were here on the up thing, weren't they?
Okay. Is REM a role model for you? Because they're quite a good... Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Michael looked after me when I was...
Okay. Helped you?
Yeah, and he's a very generous guy, and has a beautiful voice, so there you go. And I'm lucky that he's my mate. So there you go.
And REM is an important band.
Yeah.
And so is Radiohead. Do you think, you know, there are, because in the last 10 years, it's only with what we've heard is crap, you know, almost, you know, and this, it's true, you know, a lot of commercial, you know, shit around, unfortunately, you know, and Radiohead, U2, REM, you know, are there bands like that anymore, you know? Where are we going? You know?
But the only reason that any of these, any of us are allowed to exist is we're still flogging records. I mean, I think a lot of it is down to the fact that record companies are very short-sighted, and they're answerable to their shareholders. And their shareholders want more, and they want it now, like most corporate organisations. And I think music suffers because of that short-sightedness. But things are going to change.
Yeah, it will change.
Yeah. My personal thing is if rock and roll certainly doesn't need saving. If it's going to die a death, it'll just do it, and nobody should sort of be propping it up and trying to plug it back in and make it work again. You know, if it dies, it dies. Hurrah, whatever. But I think we reserve the right to use whatever we want, whenever we want. Really, as any musician should.
That's it.
About doing his material justice. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, all the time. I mean,
so don't tread on the grass.
Yeah, so, you know, sometimes Thom will sit and play a song like I Will, you know, here tonight, and it's, you know, what are you going to add to that? That's
what
not going to ruin it.
That?
Nothing. You tiptoe away and leave it and let it, you know, and record it as is.
Trombone solo at the end, possibly with a big wow.
They wiped it, didn't they?
They
so
did.
cruel.
I mean, I thought it was genius.
I know, but what can you do? No. So yeah, you know, it's a lot of the time you leave well alone.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm in Radiohead, and you know, playing music with Thom, and it's the best thing you can do. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? What can you say?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else much of it, really.
Yeah, it's true.